Here is the story you have heard. In 1953, Swanson had 260 tons of leftover turkey rolling back and forth on 10 refrigerated rail cars because there was nowhere to store it. A salesman named Jerry Thomas put the turkey into aluminum trays with sides. 10 million sold the first year. Good story. One problem: it is almost certainly not true. Former employees denied it. Swanson itself never agreed on who thought of it, and the actual inventor did it 9 years earlier for the Navy, and nobody remembers his name. So how are frozen meals made? Who really invented them? And why did the most convenient product in the American kitchen change the way families eat dinner forever? In 1944, a New York inventor named William Maxon froze leftover cauliflower, forgot about it, ate it a year later, and realized it tasted fine. That accident gave him an idea. He built a complete frozen meal, 1 protein, 2 sides, partitioned paper tray, and pitched it to the Navy. Instead of canned mystery meat, pilots got hot steak or ham with vegetables, heated in a compact oven Maxon also invented. He called them sky plates. After the war, Pan American Airways served the same meals to civilian passengers. Maxon rebranded them Strato meals for grocery stores. Then Swanson arrived. In 1953, Jerry Thomas returned from a Pan American flight, where he was served a warm meal in a disposable tray. He went back to the office and pitched the concept as his own. The concept had been flying at 30,000 feet for 7 years. Thomas did contribute one thing: the name. He called it a TV dinner because television sales had exploded after the war, and nothing sold better than something associated with a screen. The packaging was designed to look like a television set. 5,000 units the first year, 10 million the next, 25 million the year after. Maxon vanished from the story entirely. But here is the part no one covers. A TV dinner is not one product reheated. It is 4 different foods, manufactured on separate production lines, converging at a single point. Start with the turkey. Whole birds are cooked in industrial ovens, cooled, deboned by machine, and sliced into portions measured to the gram. Gravy is prepared in separate kettles, hundreds of liters at a time, seasoned, and held at temperature until dispensing. Mashed potatoes run on their own line, peeled, boiled, mashed with butter and milk, piped into molds. Green beans or corn arrive individually quick frozen from a vegetable plant, already blanched and flash frozen at -35 degrees, the same IQF process used for standalone frozen vegetables. The dessert, a brownie or cobbler, is baked, cut, and portioned on yet another line. 4 foods, 4 temperatures, 4 textures, all manufactured simultaneously, all heading to the same tray. The assembly line is where they meet. Empty multi-compartment trays move on a conveyor. At each station, a depositor drops a precise amount of one component into its designated well. Turkey here, gravy over the turkey, potatoes next, vegetables third, dessert fourth. Each compartment is sized for exactly the right portion. Too much gravy and it spills into the potatoes. Too little turkey and the customer notices. The margin between right and wrong is measured in grams. A single assembly line fills enough trays in 1 hour to feed a small town. Sealed trays enter a blast freezer at -30 to -40 degrees. The entire meal freezes solid in 30 to 90 minutes. Speed matters. Rapid freezing creates millions of small ice crystals that preserve cell structure. Slow freezing creates fewer, larger crystals that puncture cell walls, turning vegetables to mush and meat to cardboard when reheated. The same physics that makes standalone frozen vegetables work applied across an entire meal at once. Then, the material question. In '53, aluminum trays went into an oven for 25 minutes. In '86, plastic trays designed for the microwave. 5 minutes instead of 25. But microwaves heat unevenly. Edges get hotter than the center. Engineers solved this with susceptors, metallic films thinner than a human hair bonded to specific compartments. A susceptor absorbs microwave energy and converts it to direct heat, crisping the bottom of a brownie or searing the underside of chicken. That crispy bottom is not an accident. It is a patch of engineered metal doing what the microwave cannot do on its own. The finished trays ship frozen at -18 degrees. Shelf life, 12 to 18 months. A turkey dinner you buy in March may contain turkey cooked the previous September, potatoes from August, and corn frozen in July. 5 months of supply chain compressed into 5 minutes in your microwave. The American frozen meal market is worth over $90 billion. Half the country eats a frozen meal at least once a week, even after prices climbed 20% in 3 years. From Maxon's single sky plate in 1944, the category now includes thousands of options spanning every cuisine and dietary need. Lean cuisine for calorie counters, Hungry Man for portion size, Amy's for organic, Trader Joe's for the adventurous. Japan turned the frozen meal into art with bento trays presented like restaurant dishes. India has frozen thali. Mexico has frozen enchilada trays. A concept invented for Navy pilots eating over the Pacific now feeds families on every continent. And the man who started it all, William Maxon, is a footnote in a story that carries someone else's name. And here is what nobody printed on the box. Before the TV dinner, the American family ate at a table, facing each other. After, each person had their own tray, facing a screen. The product was designed around the television on purpose. The name said it. The packaging looked like one. The tray fit on a TV tray table. It was engineered to move dinner from the kitchen to the living room. Sociologists tracked the decline of the shared family meal from the mid-50s onward, decade by decade. Television was the primary driver. But the TV dinner was the physical object that made it frictionless. It replaced the table with a tray and the conversation with a broadcast. The most convenient product in the American kitchen quietly rewrote the ritual at its center. Nobody planned that. 260 tons of leftover turkey or one man's cauliflower accidentally changed how 300 million people eat dinner. Most inventions start with the question, how do we make this better? The frozen meal started with a different one entirely. How do we make this disappear? No prep, no skill, no dishes, no table. The entire point was removal, and it worked so well that it removed something nobody intended to lose. Next time you peel the film off a frozen meal, consider what is inside. Turkey from a bird cooked months ago. Potatoes harvested the season before. Corn flash frozen in another state. A brownie crisped by a metallic film thinner than a hair. 4 production lines, 1 assembly point, 1 blast freezer, 1 box, 5 minutes, done. An entire infrastructure built so you do not have to think about dinner. William Maxon grew too much cauliflower. Jerry Thomas sat on the right flight. Somewhere between the two, the American dinner table got quieter. Sky plate, Stratomeal, TV dinner. 3 names, 1 idea. Feed someone without asking anything of them. 80 years later, we forgot who made it, not once. That's the process. We reveal how things actually work, one story at a time. If there's something you'd like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.